Welcome to 15 Minute Theatre, the only review show that squeezes a whole production into 900 seconds. The date is the 19th of June 2019, and we've just been to see Present Laughter. Open the house. Hello, Vicky.
So good you named it 10 times.
Yes.
Hello.
How are you?
Do you know what, I'm alright, thanks.
Summer's landed.
It has landed, isn't it delightful?
It is delightful. I tell you.
Let's hope it lasts.
So, we've been to the theatre.
Have we?
Yeah, we have.
Oh,
so, we went to see Present Laughter, didn't we?
we did, yeah. Or as some people might call it, Present Laughter.
Oh, yes. Shall I give you a little bit of information about it?
Please do.
Okay, so it's written by Mr. Noel Coward. Directed by Matthew Warchus. Designer was Rob Hovell.
Yeah.
I think. Notable actors: Andrew Scott, Gary Essendine, India Varma, Liz Essendine, Sophie Thompson, Monica Reed.
There were other people too.
Yeah.
But James can't be bothered to read their names
Not
out.
all everybody's name. It was at the Old Vic, and it's running to the 10th of August 2019, and it's about 2 hours and 40 minutes including the interval.
Though, we did go and see a preview, so it might be a bit shorter.
Yes.
It's supposed to be shorter, wasn't it?
Yeah, so it might run a little bit quicker. But although it did seem to keep to time quite well.
Yeah, it was alright, wasn't it? It was
Anyway,
alright, yeah.
do you want to give us a little synopsis?
Just drinking my wine. So, Andrew Scott plays the central character, Gary, who is an actor, a very famous actor, who seems to have just people coming in and out of his life all the time. He's got... it's all based in his flat. This is quite hard to explain because nothing really happens, does it? It's in his flat. It starts with a young lady that he's had a liaison with. He tells her that he loves her, but isn't really interested. She leaves, and then it's basically people becoming obsessed with him.
Yeah, and using him.
But him at the same time leading this sort of quite, I'm going to say lascivious. How do you say lascivious?
Yeah,
lascivious lifestyle where he just sort of goes out. Anyway, it's a sort of very character-driven narrative.
Yes, you're right, and it's comedy, isn't it? I suppose
It's definitely a comedy.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you like it?
I did like it. Yes. Did you like it?
I did like it. I did.
I sensed some hesitation.
Well, I have a problem with Andrew Scott.
Yes.
I find him quite annoying.
He's a bit hammy, isn't he?
Well, yeah, I've been trying to break it down. Now, it could well be that the fact that I'm slightly jealous of his
career.
So I'm not gonna. I'm gonna put that out there right away. But we saw him do Hamlet, and I thought it was very over the top. And I just thought this was very self-indulgent. Although the character is very self-indulgent.
See, I felt that he really suited the role. The character's very overdramatic, and talks about being overdramatic, and other people talk about him being overdramatic, and he is overdramatic. There's a lot of standing up on things, crouching on the floor, hand gestures, being loud, being quiet. He does all the ranges.
Yeah. And it's adapted by an old Coward play.
Yeah. I feel like it can't be the original because there was
It's not the original because I've read it.
Yeah, because there's some twists, aren't there?
Yeah. So it's they've swapped the gender around for a couple of people. I read the original play the other day, and because we haven't just been to see it, it's been a week or so, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I read the play, and they swapped the gender around of a couple of characters.
So basically, he's shacking up with both men and women.
Yes.
Whereas I imagine in Noel Coward's day that probably wasn't the done thing in the theatre.
No, but there was lots of hints. The text has hardly been changed, so all the hints about he's a very good-looking lad and all that kind of stuff is still the same. So I think that bit really works well. I think updating it worked for me.
Yeah.
I really liked the story. It moved along at a pace and it made me chuckle.
It was funny.
No.
There was some rip-roaring laughs, wasn't there?
Yeah. Who stood out for you as performance-wise?
Oh, I really loved the lady that played the secretary. What was her name? She's been on Monica...
Sophie Thompson.
Sophie Thompson.
Yeah.
Oh, I completely got that wrong. Sophie Thompson was really great. The lady that played his wife was really good. I thought everyone was really good, apart from two of the characters. The maid and his manager, I thought, were a bit weak.
The maid started strong and then just became very irritating very quickly.
She was just a massive caricature, wasn't she?
Yeah, it was very stereotypical.
Yeah.
A bit too much, really. I thought the quality of the writing, I mean, I was reading a bit about Noel Coward, and his kind of theatre went very much out of favour. In the 50s, 60s, and he started having a bit of a TV career. But I thought it was very clever. The way they reference things like the latchkey all the time.
Yeah,
and
it was clever.
Africa.
I mean, very well written. Very well written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of the staging?
I thought the set was really good. It was basically his sort of living room or his hallway, central.
Yeah,
room.
they say in the script. I feel very knowledgeable, but it's like studio apartment. But it's not.
It's not a studio apartment because he's
not
got two bedrooms
standards,
and an office and a kitchen.
But maybe not by their standards.
Well,
when things were a bit bigger.
Yeah.
But it worked really well. Because it turned into a bit of a French farce at one point, didn't it?
Yeah, characters hiding in rooms. Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you, that characterisation didn't work for me. There was an old lady who was in a bath chair, and it was very... I just kept thinking of Mary Poppins and stuff for a lot of it.
Dick Van Dyke.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she wasn't great.
But I enjoyed it. It was... What I felt is that this could be done 100,000 times by amateur theatre groups up and down the land perfectly well.
And it'd still be funny, I think.
And I think the Old Vic, and I suppose any theatre, has a remit to kind of update it and, try and do new things with it. And maybe I think they tried to do that a little bit too much.
Why do you think that?
Well, because after reading the script, it just seemed like the overly dramatic bits weren't quite as dramatic. Like the end of there's 3 acts, but just before the interval was very kind of dark and serious, and it didn't seem to come across like that in the script. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I can't remember.
Fair enough. Not a lot to say with some music.
No. Oh, there was some music in it, and I found it really irritating. It was pop music.
So they used that at the start, didn't they?
They sort of used it when there was some sort of
there was Britpop
scene
all the way
changes
through, yeah.
at the start, in the interval.
Didn't work.
No, it was terrible.
They should have had...
It wasn't Britpop, it was just pop.
Well, it was a lot of Robbie Williams.
Well, there's all sorts of nonsense.
Yeah, but absolutely, it kind of takes you out of the piece. And again, I think that's what I was talking about them trying to put a new twist on it for no reason, really.
Yeah.
Been better off using music of the time. All right then. Have you got any standout moments?
I'm trying to think. I can't think of one offhand. It was pretty consistent all the way through, I felt. Have you got one?
I suppose it reached a natural climax when I think the character Daphne came back with her great aunt, and she was reading the monologue that he'd done earlier.
It's a slight spoiler.
Well, not if you... I don't think...
Not if you've read it.
Anyway,
you have.
I liked that bit.
Okay.
And for me, any bit with Liz, I thought the character Liz, his wife,
ex-wife.
was perfect.
Well,
India Rama was brilliant.
They weren't ex, were they? Because they hadn't got divorced.
No, no. Spoiler.
Okay, sorry.
All right, look. Before we spoil it any more, should we spoil ourselves and have a little break?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so there was a farcical element to this play.
Yes.
And I would say there was a farcical element to us trying to get into the theatre.
Oh yeah, they're renovating the toilets at the Old Vic at the moment.
Makes it challenging for you.
So yeah, they've got some portaloos outside, bit tricksy, and you can't go you can't get access to the stalls from the main entrance. You have to go around the side. It was a bit confusing.
Yeah, and also we were split up, weren't we?
We
So
were.
we didn't know what to do because we'd had revels and we had some chocolate.
Yeah.
And we didn't know who was going to end up with what.
I got the revels.
You did get the revels. Yeah, so that was really it for the antics. Everyone was quite well behaved from my end.
Everyone seemed to really enjoy it.
Except where I was sitting, there was someone next to me, and the seating was just these two seats fixed separately.
Right.
So every time he laughed, I kind of rocked along a little bit. But I hardly think that was a criticism.
I'm not concerned about that.
Oh, all right. So shall we score it?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, Vicky, would you like to give me a mark out of 10 for performances?
I'm going to go for an 8.
Alright, I am going to give it a 8 as well. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Staging and technical?
Well, it was perfectly fine, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'll go for a 9.
I've given it a 7. Narrative and plot, I liked it. Good story, 8.
I'd go for a 9.
Oh, generous. Originality?
An 8.
Okay. I didn't think it was that original. It was an old play, so I'd give it a 6.
Okay, fine.
Costumes?
Well, they did the job, didn't they? There was...
They did, and I loved him dressed as a pirate at the start. And
yeah, I'll go for an 8.
Yeah, I've given it an 8. And was it worth it?
I'm going to go for a 9.
Okay, I nearly gave it a 9. I've given it an 8 then. Alright, so while I add up these scores, would you like to tell the listener what we are going to see next?
Well, you're going to see something that
I'm going to.
It's going to turn out that I can't actually see, which is our friend Kay Philpott she's a drama teacher and she's written a play for her students, but it's going to transpire that I can't get there on time. So James will be reviewing that on his own. And then we are going to see a play called Sweat, which was at the Dunmar and now has transferred to the West End, which has someone that I have worked with who's a voiceover artist as well in it. So that should be good.
Okay, I've worked out the scores.
Okay.
Super quick this time.
What are the scores?
Right, it gets a 50-minute theatre rating of 3.96.
And where does that go?
That goes just below Fiddler on the Roof and just above The Mousetrap.
I think people will really like this play.
Well, I really like The Mousetrap.
I think this has got good mass appeal.
I think so. I don't think that's a harsh score. It's nearly 4-star rating.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed both on either side of that.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, Victoria, we've been to see an awful lot of good stuff.
I think so, yes, I think so.
So I think that's probably the reason.
Okay, good.
Great.
Good.
All right, well, listen, I suppose that's it.
Is it, darling? Is it?
It is, darling.
Oh, gosh, darling, I'm awfully sad.
Come back to me, darling.
Oh, I will come back to you, darling.
Don't come back to me, darling.
Okay, I'm not coming back to you, darling.
Okay, so, thank God, darling, that was a theatre bell, darling.
Oh, darling, thank God for that.
So that means the curtain's down, darling. The theatre's dark, darling. And that was 15, darling, minute theatre, darling.
Oh, goodbye, darling.
Goodbye, darling.
If you're brave enough to have your theatre production reviewed, please contact us at 15minutetheatre@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter and please rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks for listening.